Oh, what is up? It's doing this gang. So I'm going to be doing part two. Now, part two of what if Deku the Moku Moku no Mi. But disclaimer, um, there's only going to be one more part because, there's only three scripts, and I'm not going to plan on making a fourth, or I could make a part four, but I don't know if y'all want me to. Okay. As Zuko walked home, he pulled out a out and lit a cigarette. Smoking was a habit he picked up over his time as a vigilante. His smoke ability made it so the smoke had no negative effect on his body, so he didn't have a particularly care about his addiction. And it was most certainly an addiction considered he was a 10 packs of cigs on him at any given time. I'm not promoting this. Of course, y'all can do whatever y'all want. But I wouldn't. I just wouldn't. That's all you. Once he got back to his little studio apartment, paid for by Underworld's bounties, he got through bringing people to justice. He grabbed some leftovers, ate, and took a nap. That's been his schedule for the past year. After his nap, he would go out and patrol the streets for criminals. The um, the night he met Alright. He had his regular parole, white, contemplating the ramifications of going too late before realizing he would still be able to return home and continue with his work. The night before he would meet with All Might, however, he was a little different from normal patrols. Shit! Guy! Guys, it's Smoker! We got a bucket! Let's go! A kidnapper shouted before being cut off by a smack to the face by Zuku's baton. Yeesh, yeesh, kidnappers, pimps, and cleaners. I stumbled on quite the catch today. The White Hunter stated confidently. Like hell, we'll be taken down by you. Several of the criminals shouted before unfamiliar voice spoke. My oh my, I found quite the batch of naughty boys, said the seductive voice. Oh, my oh my, I found quite the batch of naughty boys. I'm not doing that, said the seductive voice. As the 18-year-old hero Midnight. Oh my gosh! Midnight's not 18. Wait, what? How old is Midnight? How old is Midnight from My Hero Academia? She's 30! Said an 18-year-old. Only Hero Midnight stepped out from the shadows. The criminals began slipping into unconsciousness one by one until Izuku was the only one left standing. This fact seemed to shock Midnight. How are you still standing, Smoker? What can I say, Midnight? I'm made of smoke. So, I'm made of smoke. So it stands no reason that gaseous attack won't work on me. Izuku said smugly. Our protagonist then proceeded to dodge an attack from Midnight's whip. Izuku chefed a oh my gosh, my eyes, they just zoomed out. His baton on his back and engaged the pro hero on on hand-on-hand combat. Despite the older woman's greater experience, Izuku's haki was more than capable of leveling the playing field. This was without taking into account that the fact Izuku was primarily defending and not using his Logia powers. Midnight used a leg sweep to take. Oh, no. It doesn't matter if he's not using his Logia powers because um, even if he's off guard, if you shoot him, it's just gonna go straight through his head because he's a Loki. Now that I think about it, Muriel's kind of a Loki with special paramecia. The fight to the ground and ended up pinning Izuku's arms straddling his waist. This gave her a good look at his face, and she was shocked by the infamous White Hunter's youth. You're just a kid. Yep. Shocking, ain't it? What could you possibly set someone as young as you on a path like this? Tragedy. Izuku said simply, tragedy. Tragedy is all it takes. Is all it can take to turn you into an innocent kid, into a Jaden cynic, into a psychopath. I'm just gonna say that. I'm sorry to hear that. Don't be. I don't regret the choices I've made, and I'm proud of the person I've become. I've already made the decision to follow the path of justice, regardless of my methods. I have to of the methods I have to use. I'll face the consequences of that choice without even blinking an eye. And I'm going to have to pause this video right now. Okay. So I just turned on non-copyright music. I've already made the decision to follow the path of justice, regardless of the methods I have to use. I'll face the consequences of that choice without blinking an eye. Such conviction, Midnight whispered. It's a shame we're on different sides of the law, Smoker. If I didn't have to bring you in, I might have taken you out for dinner sometime, she said, more clearly. Maybe one day I'll be able to take you up on that, Midnight. Not today, unfortunately, because you aren't taking me anywhere, Izuku said, as he turned his entire body into smoke. Maybe one of these days, we'll be able to have a chat without the false identities. I'll see you around, Midnight, the boy said as the smoke rolled away, leaving the pro hero shocked and then frustrated. She was also a little sad that the boy she had met suffered enough to turn him to the path of vigilanticism. Oh my, vigilanticism. Yeah, I can't pronounce that word. I can't help but hope that he stays safe. Yeah, this music is trash. Sorry. Until we meet again, Smoker, the White Hunter, she said with a soft smile on her face, unaware that the object of her affection heard her voice and saw her smile before letting out a soft smile of his own. Mom probably wouldn't approve. The law certainly wouldn't. Knucklebuster just might. I certainly do. The vigilante thought to himself. Before returning home. After school, the boy made... What? I forgot Izuku goes to school. After school, the boy made his way to Dagma Beach and was surprised to see that the number one hero was not present. Izuku shrugged before hopping into a piece of trash and light a cigarette. He didn't have to wait too long as the pro hero showed up shortly after.
I apologize for my tardiness, my boy. You see, there was a villain I had to take care of. And then... Are you smoking?
Yep.
How do you even...
I have my ways. I'm made of smoke, so it doesn't hurt me. Anyway, so, it shouldn't be a problem.
I see. Have you come to the decision, Smoker?
Yes, I feel free to sign me up for UA.
I'm glad to see you've chosen to be a hero, my boy. You have my recommendation. So, you will be taking the exams for the recommended students.
I see. When is it?
You have 3 months to prepare.
Sounds good. Izuku said as he dropped the cigarette butt into a metal container. he keeps on him. He lit another one before taking his leave.
I'm sure I'll see you.
Oh, I'm sure I'll see you around, number Mr. Number One Hero. I should inform you that I won't be allowed to smoke. I should inform you that you won't. Okay,
I should inform you that you won't be allowed to smoke in class.
I expect as much. Very well. I'll look forward to seeing your.
I look forward to seeing your progress, my boy.
That's kind of weird. 3 months passed by the recommended exam. Um, 3 months passed by the recommended exams. It came. Whoa, shut up. You're a little bit too loud. Exams came. It wasn't too terribly It wasn't too terribly difficult, as he didn't try too hard. He ranked just below a boy with red and white hair, and just above a girl with black hair in a spiky ponytail. Little did he know those were going to be the people in his class. He just had to wait 7 more months before attending the country's top hero school. Between between vigilante work and schoolwork, the time passed, but fairly quick. Izuku didn't have any more run-ins with Midnight, unfortunately, but he had the feeling he would see her again at some point. He stepped into class 1A and was greeted with a rather unfortunate sight. Get up! Get your desk off the feet! You're being disrespectful towards the people who came here before us! Shut the f up! What school did you even go to? I went to Somei Private Academy. I'm Tanya Ida. Nice to see you. Somei, huh? So, you're in the light. I'll enjoy blasting you apart. Blasting me apart? Are you sure you're in the right place? Izuku shared a class with his old bully, an upright robot who has a stick up his ass. That was sure to be fun. Ah, another student. Pleased to meet you. I'm Tanya Ida. I heard. I heard. I'm Izuku. Pleased to meet you. Deku! You quirkless little. What the are you doing here? 1. Not quirkless, Izuku said, while coating his arms in armament hockey. 2. I got here through recommendations. So, both of us favor and stay away from me, yeah. Katsuki was shocked that Izuku had a quirk and got it through recommendations. I'm gonna crush you, you fucking nerd! The bully thought angrily. Before Izuku sat down and kept to himself, while the rest of the class conversated until a man in a sleeping bag showed up and called the class to order. It took you 8 seconds to get situated. That shows you lack or whatever. I'm Shoto Aizawa, your homeroom teacher. Grab the gym uniforms, change and head outside. We're doing a quirk apprehension test. The kids made it. The kids made it outside, and Aizawa, who Izuku recognized as Eraserhead, had Katsuki demonstrate the ball throw with his quirk. Several students said it looked so fun. Aizawa threatened expulsion. Expulsion for whoever placed last. Izuku was planning on holding back since he was in the same class as the two since he was in the same class as the two other top recommendation students. That is until Aizawa told him to actually try. So came Izuku came out first in everything, minus the 50-meter ride, which he held back on. This had the other two recommendation students glaring at him for holding back during their entrance assessment. The rest of the class go by uneventfully until modern art histories roll around. The teacher just so happened to be Midnight. She walked and locked eyes with Izuku, who looked shocked before smirking a bit and speaking to the pro hero. Ah, Miss Midnight. Thank you again for saving me from those kidnappers several months ago. No, no problem, kid. What, what did you say your name was again? Ah, you shouldn't be surprised. You're probably too busy to learn my name. I'm Izuku Midoriya. The perverts in the class were crying out. The injustice of Izuku getting saved by Midnight, while Izuku was thinking about the injustice of a peeping pervert like Mineta being allowed anyway. The class goes by with Midnight and Izuku glance, taking discreet glances toward one another that go unnoticed by the other students. The class ends, and as the students leave, Midnight called out to Izuku Midoriya. Could you stay after class for a moment? The boy nodded, and the pervert started crying, which caused a vein to grow on his forehead. It was only okay. No. It was only after the door closed that Izuku spoke up. What did you need, Miss Kayama? Izuku said with a smirk. You know dang well, you know dang well what I had to say, what I had you say, what I had you stay for. What are you doing here, smoker? Well, our last talk got me thinking, so I applied to UA. Now here I am. Yet I didn't see you at the entrance exam. Recommendations, Izuku said, not not losing his eating grin for 1 second. What's your angle, smoker? Call it trying something different. Don't fuck around with me, dang it, the pro hero said while slamming her fist into the desk. Fine, if you must know. After I took out the sludge villain several months back, All Might approached me and offered me a spot here. After after the little encounter we had, and after hearing you shocked by my convictions, I made the decision to try things your way. So I accepted his offer, and here I am. Midnight was shocked what at the fact that she heard her whispers at the time that it was her who swayed him to becoming a hero. She let out a slip and she let a slip. She let slip the small smile she had at their last encounter and made him offer. So, since we're gonna be on the same side of the law, how about dinner at my place? Izuku grinned. Sounds good. Sounds good. What time? At 7, alright? 7 sounds great. I'll see you then, Midnight. I can't wait, Smoker. Izuku left the class and proceeded to the next class with a note. Lunch and normal classes rolled in the hero system all my teacher. I'm cooking through the door.
I'm coming through the door like a normal like I'm coming through the door normally. Greetings, class.
To the heroic class today. We will have to
Greetings, class. Welcome to the heroics class. Today we will have battle training.
the pro hero said. The reactions were mixed as the students made their way to the locker rooms with their costumes, as Izuku is recognized by his smoke rather than his costume. He was allowed to use his vigilante costume and his baton. All Might explained the exercise to the students would be put in pairs by drawing lots. Sir, surely there's a more efficient method of picking partners. Open your mind.
Open your mind, you know. Heroes have to make impro
Pros have to make improvision team. Okay, pro heroes always have to improvise team ups all the time. This makes good practice. You are correct. You are correct, Midoriya. Forgive my ignorance. Izuku ended up being paired with Ochako Uraraka. One of the students he was relative friends with and was pit against Katsuki and Ito and was put against Katsuki and Ito. Me against Katsuki, Izuku said indifferently. He preferred to focus on the object, so he didn't care too much about Katsuki's grudge. He walked with Uraraka immensely, planning the different ways things could go, regardless of how Izuku would take Katsuki out, quickly getting him whatever. This is all I'm ending off the story. If you like, comment, subscribe, share, tell your friends on your social media platforms. You too. We out. Peace.